Hey everybody, it's Roy Koyama here. I just wanted to go over something important when it comes to nutrition, and for those of you that are really looking to get the most out of your meals, your nutrition plan, and if you're getting ready for something, trying to cut weight, trying to build and gain, don't you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of everything? Well, a lot of fitness professionals and so-called experts, they're going to give you all types of advice. But the real thing is, let's talk about something really basic and simple. It's called pyloric acid, and what that is it's the acid in your stomach that helps to digest your food, so your body can absorb the nutrients. Now, a lot of times we're gonna do everything actually really exactly the opposite of the way we should be. And what I mean by that is by eating your salads before your meals, consuming liquids prior to and during your meal. So let's think about it in a sense of if you were to go camping. And if you're going to go camping, are you going to walk up to your campfire and put water on it? No, nobody does that, right? Because then how are you going to cook? Well, it'd be almost virtually impossible to cook on a campfire that doesn't have fire. So basically what I'm getting to is don't nullify your stomach acids. Don't cancel it out. And what happens is when you're drinking any type of fluids prior to or during your meal, you're basically shutting down the production of pyloric acid. And then any food that you eat is not going to be digested properly. The nutrients aren't going to be absorbed, maybe in a minimal state. And then you're looking at indigestion, gas, all the other wonderful things that come with not eating properly. So think about it like this. You've got proteins, you've got your starches, your vegetables, and your fruits. Okay. What I recommend is to eat your proteins first. What that does is it signals a trigger to the brain, and the brain sends a signal back to the stomach saying, okay, we've got something that we have to work on hard and we have to work on fast. So we need to, the stomach will produce the highest amount of pyloric acid possible. And then you have your starches. There's another signal that goes to the brain, goes back to the stomach. The stomach says, hey, this is a medium heat type of situation, so it will produce a medium level of pyloric acid to digest the starches. And then you have your vegetables. Vegetables require very minimal amounts of pyloric acid, so you're on your low setting when it comes to heat, and because it takes a long time, so it's just going to produce a low amount of pyloric acid, and then the vegetables take considerable amount of time to break down and absorb. And then your fruits, of course, you just eat those, I would say, 20 minutes prior to or after your meals as a digestive enzyme, as well as, to get the benefits from the fruit, the nutrients and the vitamins and minerals. So, Americans, a lot of people here, we do everything backwards, and what I mean is we're going to eat our soups, we're going to eat our salads first before we eat our proteins and our starches, which basically it's like on your stove or a campfire, having it at the very lowest setting and still trying to cook your meat and your starches, your pastas and your potatoes and things like that. It's not going to happen correctly. It's not going to work. And then what happens is it rots in your stomach, and then guess what? Now you have an upset stomach and all the wonderful side effects of that. So if you want to really absorb the maximum amount of nutrients and get the most out of every single meal that you're eating, here's what I suggest. Don't have anything to drink. Okay? Wait until after your meal. 20 minutes at the minimum before you drink anything. You're going to eat your proteins first, so that way you stimulate the highest amount of pyloric acid possible, turning the heat up to high. Then you're going to eat your starches, which will already come down on top of the meat, which is at a high level of pyloric acid, and then you're going to get medium, basically a medium setting of heat for the starches, and then you're going to have your vegetables very last, because the vegetables are going to require the smallest amount of heat, which is we call the low setting on pyloric acid. So you've got your meat at the bottom, your starches in the middle, and your vegetables at the top. So everything just kind of just goes right down the way it's supposed to and digests the way it's supposed to. Your body actually can absorb the maximum amount of nutrients, versus the opposite way, where you're going to have a low heat, medium, and high. Well, guess what? Once your stomach starts producing a low amount of pyloric acid, it's not going to say, oh, whoops, darn it, we've got to kick it up now because there's meat up there. No, the meat's going to sit on top of everything and just basically rot until it hits the bottom. And then by that time, your stomach's going, I really don't need to produce a high amount of pyloric acid because we have rotted food in our stomach, and we're just going to go ahead and pass it through as waste and possibly even toxins. So to sum it all up, you're not wanting to consume liquids prior to or during the meal. Wait at least 20 minutes after. You're wanting to eat your proteins first. And I actually, if you ever see or have a meal with me, I'm spinning my plate in a sense to where I'm going to eat my proteins first, turning the heat up. I'm going to have my starches second. Don't have to turn the heat up anymore because it's already there. And then I'll have my vegetables very last. Now fruit, that's something that is great for in between meals as a snack, or maybe 20 to 30 minutes after you've eaten your meal, or on the flip side, 20 to 30 minutes before you eat your meal as a digestive enzyme. But I'm going to recommend to do it after the meal so that you're going to get the most benefit out of your nutrients that you're trying to absorb through your proteins, carbohydrates, and whatnot. So that's really it. It's really basic, and I could go into depth about this, but I just don't want to take up a lot of time. So I just wanted to be very clear. If you're wanting to get the most out of your meals, eat right. Don't drown your fire. Don't put out the campfire before you start cooking. Stoke the fire. If you're going to do it right, proteins, starches, vegetables. And then you're going to be surprised on the types of results you'll get, and less indigestion, upset stomachs, and all those wonderful side effects of not eating right. So anyways, that's my piece. Hope everybody got something out of this. I know it was quick. If you'd like to go further into detail on this, you can always contact me directly. Later.